What's up, folks? How's it going? I'm here smoking this cigarette today in honor of the perhaps millions of Michigan citizens who will never be able again to smoke in a bar. You can still go to a bar and purchase 10 shots of Jack Daniels. They will watch you drink that and let you leave. But goddamn you if you smoke a fucking cigarette, because that might be a little unhealthy. Because we have the kindergarten class coming in here for a field trip, and we don't want them to get any of the fumes up in their shit. Okay? So, fuck you, you fucking pansies. Banning smoking in a bar. Holy shit. Knew this was coming, but it still shocks me. It still shocks me. Pretty soon they're going to ban smoking in your car, outside, on the planet, in the atmosphere. Who knows? Anyway, I want to talk about two things. First of all, I want to talk about this sorry-ass video that TJ made today or yesterday, some shit. Specifically, his insane ramblings about this Arizona immigration law. Okay, everyone is upset about this immigration law, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. Okay, let's look what the big evil is. Let's check it out. The new Arizona law requires immigrants to carry their alien registration documents at all times and requires police to question people if there is reason to suspect they are in the United States illegally. Oh no, holy shit, the walls are crumbling down, we've lost all of our freedom. It seems to me like, oh yeah, this is a law that's already required by the federal government. It's just Arizona passing a supplementary law that allows there to be an extra level of state penalties for this. Okay, so basically all this means now is that when you break the federal law of not carrying your immigration papers, you're also going to be breaking the Arizona state law of not carrying your immigration papers. You want to know who else has to carry their immigration papers? You! If you go to any foreign country on the fucking planet, if you were to say, hey, I'm going to Germany, okay? If you're going to Germany, you have to have your visa or your passport or whatever, depending on how long you're there and for what purpose, on you at all times. Just like any other, if you were from England and you came over here, okay, for vacation, you have to have your fucking passport or whatever. Everyone has to do this. This is not new. What the fuck is TJ freaking out about? I don't understand. He goes on to state that Republicans or like people who support this law, both crunched together apparently, hate immigrants or something, and I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. It seems to me if they hated immigrants, they would be trying to pass a law against immigration. They're not trying to pass a law against immigration, they're trying to pass a law to make it easier to prosecute people who broke the fucking law and came to this country. And TJ's whole sob story about, oh, they came so much further to come to this country than you did, and blah, 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 blah. Go fuck yourself with that shit. It's against the law. Is it okay to rob a bank if you have to climb 3 walls and go through a fucking crocodile pit just because it was more difficult? It makes it okay for you to rob the bank? What the fuck, dude? Stupid shit has just gotten into your mind, man, and just turned it into fucking mush. You're just spewing out rhetoric. It doesn't even make any sense. There's no reason to be against this law. None. No reason. Okay? If you are a legal Mexican citizen or you have your papers, you have nothing to worry about. They're going to say, you got your papers and you should have them with you. And you're going to say, yep, here's my papers. And they're going to say, these check out. Have a nice fucking day. You know? And the big issue here is racial profiling. Okay? Talking about racial profiling. Guess what? Everyone, no matter what your race, and believe me on this, gets racially profiled all the time. It really just depends on where you are and what you're doing. Okay? Black people get racially profiled a lot. Okay? But if you're white, if you want to come with me to a trip down to Joy Road and Schoolcraft, or fucking to 8 Mile and Evergreen or some shit like that, I'll show you how to fucking get profiled as a white person. I promise you it'll happen. You know, this is like the people who are against profiling Arabs as terrorists. What are you, fucking insane? That's what the vast majority of them is. They're Arabs, so you look specifically at the Arabs. That's just common fucking sense. If it hurts your sensibilities a little bit, that's too bad, because it's not violating anyone's fucking civil rights to ask you if you have your the documents that you legally have to fucking have. Okay? And it's not a violation of your civil rights if you go to an airport and you're an Arab and they might look at you a little bit harder. It might be uncomfortable, but that's tough shit. That's life. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to justify all forms of racial profiling. The racial profiling that happens with black people, like around here, is retarded. They just pull everybody over. I mean, they profile teenagers like that too, assume that we all have drugs. But this seems like legitimate profiling. Who's the most people who are illegal immigrants? Fucking Mexican people. So you look at the Mexicans. You don't go to fucking Connecticut, okay, up into some neighborhood where people live in two-story, big fucking houses to look for illegal immigrants. They're not there. Maybe they're working in the gardens, but they're not living there. Okay, you don't stop white people to look for illegal immigrants, because most white people aren't fucking illegal immigrants, and neither are most black people. Most illegal immigrants are Mexicans. Holy shit! This is not a racial thing against. It's not like we hate Mexicans. It's just, that's the way it is, man. That's the facts. Most illegal immigrants are Mexicans. They're going to be profiled. So, I don't know. Just the sycophants that comment on his videos just astonish me. Every video, this is the greatest video we've ever done, TJ. Are you even listening to what he's saying? I don't know. Second thing, I want to touch on what went on this Pat Condell thing. First, I want to say that generally I agree with everything that Richard said. I like Condell's style. You'll find several of his videos, I'm sure, favorited in my favorites list. And I agree with some of the things, a lot of the things that he said about Islam in general. But his politics are, we've come to find out, questionable. Okay. But what I took particular interest in was the comments Richard was talking about in his follow-up video. He's talking about how people are, sending him comments about how, this infighting amongst the atheist community is bad or whatever. And this is an extremely important topic, okay? Because it's all about politics. And it's going to become more and more about politics, whether you like it or not. I know a lot of people around here don't like politics. They like to talk about theology and shit like that. They don't want to talk about politics. Unfortunately, atheism and politics is going to meet sooner rather than later, because atheism, secular thinking, things like that, is becoming more mainstream. It's becoming more acceptable. And as that continues to happen, people are going to start to realize that this is a special interest group with some voting numbers behind it. And so politics are going to come into play. So when you hear somebody say something like, I don't like this infighting in the atheist community, well, by whose definition does this community exist? Okay, because obviously just saying you're an atheist doesn't tell me anything about your politics. It might give me a clue, depending, but it doesn't really say anything definitive about your politics. So when somebody says this fighting in the atheist community, whose community? Under whose guidance is this community working? Okay, whose politics is running this community? That's an important question to ask, and be careful of this. All right, and this might sound strange coming from me, because I always talk about politics and I have a kind of a political slant to what I'm saying, or at least I hope I do, because I'm trying to. But I will tell you this. Okay, I will tell you that I have some political motivations. Some people won't. Okay, you're communist in hiding, you're Nazi in hiding. They're not going to tell you this shit, at least not right up front. Now, the group that Pat Condell is in support of, this UKIP political party in Britain, seems to be more right-leaning, while I myself find left-wing elements to be, I think, the biggest danger for atheists out there, because most of the people who are atheists are ripe for that kind of political indoctrination. They're not really the kind of people who get behind right-wing stuff. They can get behind left-wing stuff, and they can get sucked into the bad shit on that side of the spectrum. So basically what I'm saying is keep your eye out for politics, and keep your eye out for hidden politicians, and be careful of people that don't tell you everything, and, you know, don't jump at the first group that you think is going to solve your primary concern, okay? Because it's quite possible that that's what Pat Condell did. I'm not saying this is what happens, but sometimes, okay, someone will say, shit, I really care about this particular issue. Number one, it's in the forefront. They look and they say, oh, this political party doesn't say anything about it, this political party doesn't say anything about it. These guys have that shit on their front page. They're the only ones that have it there. I'm going to support them. So you might blindly go support them, and you don't read the rest of their shit. You might not find out that they want to, you know, have mandatory cavity searches of every American citizen every Thursday at 5 p.m. You might not know about that. Okay? So keep your eye out for shit like that. I don't know. I'll talk to you folks later.